Hi everyone. I'm doing a rather unexpected, spontaneous talk in my mum's house. It's quite dark here, it's raining, it's really dark outside, and I'm in my mum's kitchen. There's nobody else here at the moment, so if you hear a lot of phones going, sometimes the house here can be a bit noisy. It's a bit like Grand Central Station. So I'm just going to take some breaths. I'm a bit tired because I've been up since 4 a.m. Okay, how's everybody? I'm a bit weary right now and I thought I'd better try and do some live before I have to get really busy here. It's been a really emotional time the past 2 months. I would say it's been very emotional. I've probably cried more tears than I've cried in a very long time, and I didn't know why. It's been really, really challenging, as you know. My mum's been in for a couple of operations and we've had cancer scares and potential chemotherapy in the new year, and sometimes life just really triggers you and it really taps you into your inner child, the part of you that is still quite traumatized from early life experiences. And for me, I guess, was when my father died when I was 26. And I've been triggered deeply about that once again. And this past week or month even more so, and I've been crying so much, and it's been really hard to understand why I've been crying. It's been, I guess, in a way you kind of face your own mortality and you face other people's mortality, and it's not that you're going backwards in life, it's that you're revisiting some really old wounds from the past, and the new experiences are triggering those old wounds. So I've been crying like a banshee the past few days, and my best friend Michael, he drove me up to Gateshead where my mum lives, and it was just it was a hard journey. He hasn't had a car for a few years, so he was a bit stressed out about it, and I was really stressed out about him driving back today on his own, because I've lived with him for about 15 years and he's my best friend, and many people might look at us and think, well, you're not married, you're not a couple, but we pretty much are like a married couple. We share everything, we share the budget, we share our deepest feelings and fears, and we've been there for each other for a very long time now. And when my dad died, Michael came into my life a year later, so he kind of helped me through the grief, and the grief was for about 10 years with my dad, and it was really, really hard. So this morning when he was leaving to travel back down south, and last night, I just cried. I couldn't stop crying, and it was the tears of, I would say, maybe a 3 or a 4-year-old, those sort of tears that you get from a child who is unrestrained. You don't try and be adult about it. You literally wail like a banshee. And that's what he did. And I was really confused and conflicted, and I didn't know why I was so upset. And I realised it's because he was leaving, and there was a little child in me that was saying, please don't leave me. And all of these abandonment issues started to come up for me. And I thought to myself, well, my dad passed on when I was 26. Did I have more abandonment issues before then? And I realised that when I was 13, my sister was born, but I was 13, and when you're 13, you've got so many emotions going on, it's really stressful. And in a way, I love my dad to bits, but he kind of emotionally abandoned me back then, and I was sort of left on my own emotionally to deal with lots of stuff that was going on for me. And then he passed on, and in many a way I kind of, not created, but I allowed partners into my life who abandoned me also. So I had a lot of masculine energy which left me and it was so hard to take it in and to receive that and to love myself in the process. I just couldn't do it until now. So when Michael left this morning, I was triggered. It was this feeling of being abandoned again. So if you're going through a similar thing in your life, have a look and see if the emotions are coming up are familiar to you. Is the grief, is the control, is this the trauma, is it something from your past that you're just revisiting right now? You're not necessarily reliving it, you're revisiting it, and it's helping you make peace with, I guess, the way life is. Life is not something we can control. It's changing all of the time, and sometimes we've just got to accept that we've got to be flexible and open and receptive to things changing. So I cried and I cried and I cried so hard, and when Michael left, I went into the single room that I'm staying at the minute, and I wrapped myself in a blanket and held my teddy that I've had for years, and I cried some more, and I just held myself, and I was telling my inner child, I'm here for you. I've got your back. You're not alone. And I was soothing the part of me that was in trauma and felt abandoned in some way, to let myself know that I'm not abandoning myself. And because everybody in this world is a reflection of what is going on inside of us. So if we're really triggered by something over and over and over again, if we look to ourselves and turn it around, we can ask ourselves, am I abandoning myself in any way? Am I not doing what I'm supposed to do in life? Am I not supporting myself in some way? And then we can change that pattern of whatever trigger that's being triggered for you right now. So I just thought I'd pop in and do a little talk. It's really strange doing it here because it's so dark, and I think I'm probably really white on this light. But it's difficult to get the lighting right here. But I'm just so glad I've got my computer and I can do my lives with you guys. And I want you to know that tears are okay. That crying is okay. And I'm not talking about just the occasional tears. Sometimes we just need to be in a space where we can literally let the tears out till we've got nothing left in us to cry out. And it's so healing and so loving to yourself to actually cry and wail like a 5-year-old or a 4-year-old, and to not wrong yourself for that, not be adult about it. You don't have to have your shit together in life. You don't have to be put on this perfect persona. You can just let it out. And what's really great, if you've got somebody like I've got my best friend Michael, that can hold that space for you and really let that trauma just be released and held. Let he or she just hold that space. They're not there to tell you you're going to be all right. You don't want them to say you're going to be all right, you're fine. You don't want them to say things like, you don't need to cry anymore, I'm here. What you want them to do is say absolutely nothing and just let you cry. And if you haven't got that, just let yourself cry. Because so many physical issues, anxiety, stress, depression, chronic fatigue syndrome, can all manifest because we haven't allowed ourselves to feel the feelings that need to be felt. And not only feel them, but give ourselves permission to feel them and not wrong ourselves for feeling them. And I think that's where a lot of people get trapped. They try to control how they feel, how they're perceived, and by doing so they're locking it all into the body, and the body just gets really rigid and you're not free. Your energy's not free. You can have heart issues, you can have diabetes, there can be so many health issues that can come from not releasing grief, fear, pain, anger, rage, whatever it is that you need to let go of. And when you do that, you're freed and you're open to be there for other people. If you can do that, then you're being kind to yourself. And when you're being kind to yourself, then you can be kind to other people. It's a two-way street. You open, you receive, and you let go. And when you open and you're kind and loving to yourself, then the rest of the world comes forward and they are loving and kind to you. And this is what I've found. I used to think I had to be pleasing everybody and perfect, and had to get everything right. I had to show everyone how I had my life together. But once I started to allow myself to be vulnerable and allow myself to really feel and to let people know that, I'm not feeling great, that I'm feeling challenged, or I am human. By doing that, it gives other people permission and ease to come into your world and to feel about you in the same way. You've given yourself love and acceptance, then they give you love and acceptance. You give yourself friendship, you receive friendship. This is how it works, and it's not an easy journey to look at yourself, because you've really got to own up to what's really happening and face and embrace issues that maybe you've been trying to put off for a very long time. And I'm feeling really grateful now that I let this out of me, because I didn't think I would. When Michael left this morning, I thought, I'm going to be in trauma. How am I going to cope? I've got a lot to do here, and I really want to be the best carer I can for my mum while I'm here. And I just felt kind of hard in here, and I thought, how am I going to do that? So when he left and I let the final tears go, it was like a weight just lifted off my shoulders, and now I feel like I'm freed up and I'm ready now. I'm ready to do what I came here to do, whatever that means, be it cooking, cleaning, just being a listening ear, anything that I need to do for my mum, and but in also to accept that I need to be there for myself, that caring for other people is not an easy experience. You're in a different zone, you're not in your comfort zone, and you've got to really make time to fill your own cup up and really nurture yourself too, which is why I'm glad that my friend brought my computer up, so I can actually do some work here and I can get on with my dreams and goals and not leave them to the side while I'm focusing on somebody else. So thank you, everybody. I've got no idea what this looks like because I've covered the screen with a piece of paper. I probably look really white like a ghost, but that's just a little talk on letting go, releasing, crying, trauma, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Now, hopefully my mum's coming out of hospital today, fingers crossed. I will be doing lives while I'm here. I don't know when. It'll be when I can try and get a quiet moment, and hopefully the grand central station of my mother's house and the telephone ringing constantly. I'll get a few moments throughout the time here so I can keep doing my lives, because I know how much it supports quite a lot of you watching. And yeah, thank you, everybody. I'm going to go and wash the dishes now, get the place ready, and then I'm going to have myself a cup of coffee. And I'll speak to you all soon. Thanks, everyone. Bye.